Tony.
All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started. Welcome to the operational briefing for Wednesday, September 16th. My name is Roger Noon, Plan Section Chief for Incident Management Team 1. Please take this opportunity to silence your cell phones, turn down your radios. If you need to have a private conversation, please take it well outside the briefing area, as well as a quick reminder to try and maintain your social distancing and keep your masks on. We'll start off with a current situational update.
Hey, good morning, Paul Rodriguez, Night Operations. First, I'd like to say thanks to all the local, the Fresno Kings and the Sierra National Forest for you guys' leadership and your help the last couple nights. It's been great, and we couldn't got to where we're at without you guys. We're looking pretty good last night in down at Ranger Lake and Jose Basin. We continue to improve our control lines with aggressive mop-up. And that's all stayed in place. That was pretty good because it got wind tested. Also working our way towards Meadow Lakes in that area, continue aggressive mop up and patrol up in that area. One thing that's different from the shift before is we opened up, repopulated the areas below the Mono Lake Casino. So we do have some traffic up there as you're going in there. As we continue around up to get to the 168 and Toll House, we did have the fire. That's where it kind of came out yesterday. And what we ended up doing is picking it up from Burl Mountain and actually burned out towards the Shaver Springs community. So that's looking good last night. Going around there, we still have an open piece between there and Cherry Flats, which goes into the Soap Root Saddle area. And that's been pinched off. That's what we call the catcher's mitt. And that's secure. So we do have some work in there to do today. Down between Cherry Flats and Burl Mountain. Going around Shaver Lake area, the structure side's looking really well. On the back side of it, we do have the spots around Dinky and Rock Creek. And those are the stuff, everything stayed in place yesterday except for one, got out for about 20 acres. Working around up towards Huntington Lake, we did complete the prepping and it's ready to secure one more piece to burn. With that, trees are still coming down, so have a great shift.
All right, thank you. Next, we're going to review our incident objectives. Our management objectives are to utilize the risk management process to identify and mitigate hazards to protect firefighters and the public. Emphasize strategies and tactics that have the highest probability of success and the least exposure to firefighters and the public. We're going to develop strategies to protect life, property, communities, businesses, and infrastructure. Employ tactics that fulfill these strategies while being mindful of the necessity for contingency and emergency plans. Ensure strategies account for incident priorities, applying resources to those with the highest consequences first. Follow COVID-19, CDC, and established local, state, and federal guidance to limit virus spread within the incident and surrounding communities near the fire area. Provide timely and continuous incident information to affected agency partners, cooperators, and to the public. And maintain fiscal accountability and keep costs commensurate with values at risk. For our control objectives, keep the fire north of Pine Flat Lake, keep the fire south, the South Fork of Merced River and the crest of Ansel Adam Wilderness, keep the fire east of Highway 41, and keep the fire west of Minarets Range. Now we'll have weather.
Good morning, Incident Meteorologist Matt Maley.
So yesterday was a day of change weather-wise. Today's forecast is going to be pretty much the same of what we saw yesterday. So not a lot of change. What you saw yesterday is what you're going to experience today. So what does that mean? It means we're going to start off pretty smoky. We can see it here. So just be heads up as you're driving in the line. The smoke definitely settled down into the lower canyons and drainages, so visibility will be an issue. That smoke is going to hang around at least through mid to late morning, gradually lifting once the sun gets up around noon or so. That's when it will start to lift. Not expecting a lot of mixing, so smoke won't go completely away, but you will see improved visibilities later this afternoon, but still impacts to aviation assets on the incident. Temperatures today, once the sun does finally get to mix things out a little bit, we'll see them warm up into the 70s and 80s. Humidities will remain on the lower end in the teens. Winds will also pick up once we get that sun up. Your up canyon, upslope type flow. For tonight, the smoke will settle back down into lower canyons. Temperatures will cool off, especially in the higher terrain. As that cools off, that cold air is going to slide down the hill. That will translate to a kicking in of your down canyon, downslope flow. So just be heads up for that. That'll be toward the end of the night shift. Last but not least, if you are not aware of it, on the bottom of the forecast is a QR code. You can scan that, and that'll give you weather stations around the fire that will help you monitor the trends throughout the day. Have a safe shift.
All right, thank you. Next up will be fire behavior.
Good morning, Don Watt with Fire Behavior. Don't let the smoke fool you today. We're still climbing up on our ERCs, our BIs, are reaching that 90th to 97th percentile. Good news is the ignition component has dropped down due to the shading, but once the sun gets on the fuels, we get the cloud cover out, that ignition component will start to increase. Big thing is a lot of heavy materials. Continue to watch the areas near the line, near green. They will flare up in the afternoon. Spotting is always a potential, and remember, it increases as we start getting that lift, the sun, and with higher winds. Have a safe shift.
Thank you. Next, we'll go over our branch and division work assignments.
Good morning, Tony Brown, Incident Management Team 1, day operations for the South. Okay, we were able to get a lot of people back in their house yesterday because it's what the work you guys did. They were out for over a week, and they were very happy to get back in, and because of you, that we made that happen. Now it's for the next step. So the area I'm really going to concentrate today is down here in Whiskey and Victor. It's been it pushed our hand yesterday. We had to do a little defensive burning up there. So it really worked out very well for us. It pulled back in perfect, but we still have a big chunk on that bottom moving to the east to tie in. So that's our big priority. This area up here in Nora, up in branch 20, is going to continue to burn. It's going to get a high wind on it coming up with this weather change. We know what it's doing. We're monitoring it. It's just going to do what it's going to do up in the wilderness. Papa, continue tactical patrol around those structures. There's a lot of down stuff, especially when we had that wind event. We need to get in around those structures. There's still some heat around there to save those so they don't burn up later on down the road. Moving down in here to Romeo, moving into Sierra, in that Rock Creek area, it's a very rough area. We need to tie that in, go direct where we can, if not pull back to the edges and where our targets of opportunity are, keep that from running out to the east. We do not want to get east of Rock Creek. Moving down into Whiskey Uniform, that's going to be a tough one, but we're going to get it. Moving around Shaver, actually I want to go back to Shaver real quick. Continue the mop up around the structures. That's someplace we're looking at repopulating soon down the road. I want to make sure it's safe for the people going in. Identify the snags to keep them safe so nothing happens in the stump holes. Moving down to Whiskey, Victor, as we said, that's our priority. That's a lot of work to be doing there. It worked out well yesterday. We need to continue that progress, keep pushing dozers off to the east. We did put contingency down in the Burrow Valley, which helps us out if it gets over the top of that hill. Just keep the progress going in there. Be safe on that because it has some tendency to run out of there. Moving into branch 29, all this work down here in that Jose Basin around the structures up on top, awesome work. So, I'm really impressed with the work that's been in there. I want you to continue that around the structures because I'd like to repopulate inside the burn at some point, so make it safe for the people to go back in there. We have a fight. We're winning it. We're turning the corner. Let's keep the progress going. Watch your back. Be safe. Have a good shift.
All right, thank you. Now will be branch and division roll call.
Morning, Kyle O'Neill, Resource Unit Leader. We go over the branch and divisional roll call for the South Zone. For those of you that are the engines and strike teams, you'll do your roll call at divisional breakouts. Starting with branch 20 and 25, Petro. Here. Covey, trainee. Here. November Papa, Darcy. Here. Romeo, Emlock. Here. Carpus. Sierra, Laurie. Uniform, Stevens. Branch 29, Fields. And Carter, trainee. Division Victor, Huff. Wade. And there'll be a ride-in. Morris. Division Whiskey, Bontrager. Winnan. And Demanti. Division X-Ray Zulu, Schofield. And Contingency, McDougal. Thank you. Have a safe day.
All right, now we'll hear for air operations.
Good morning. Matt Hill, Air Operations, CAL FIRE Team 1. So we'll have Air Attack and Helco up early. The rotor wing have been pretty much the show lately. So we have 15 water droppers today. We have the mobile retardant base. Yesterday we were able to put in about 38,000 gallons worth around Shaver Springs. So hopefully we'll do more of the same today. We do have a PSD mission today, and it'll either be Copter 404 or 406, along with the Arrowhead shots with their UAV. And then we have Copter 407 as our 24-hour medevac. Let's make it a safe shift and monitor air to ground. Thank you.
Next up, safety.
Good morning, everybody. Brad Niven, Safety Training Incident Management Team 1. Items for today to review: driving safety. A lot of complaints coming in about excessive speed and whatnot, passing. Let's make sure that everyone's observing all of the speed laws, traffic laws, and whatnot. Everybody is watching everybody out there. Next thing, aircraft safety. Going to keep harping on that. The helicopters get up. They want to get in there, get working. I get it. Everyone wants to get that picture in. Make sure everyone is clear of those drop zones. If you think you're clear, you're probably not. You need to get farther away. Last item for review, on page 26, there's a special statement about valley fever. A couple cases have popped up from incidents earlier this month. If you were on the Hills Fire or the Mineral Fire, pay attention to that. Check, look and see if you got any signs or symptoms. Just information only at that point. Nothing from anybody here at this fire, but from some other fires, some of this stuff has came out. So pay attention to that. With that, have a safe shift.
All right, thank you. Communications.
Good morning, Tom Webb, Communications Unit Leader. No changes to the comm plan from the previous work periods. Verizon's pretty much got all their fixed sites back and up and running around the fire, so you should have good Verizon coverage. AT&T is still working on some of their sites. Reminder that we are streaming this on YouTube. Follow the links in your QR code, and transmitting it on vFire 24 for the crews that are outside this briefing area. And we're available in room 5 to support your needs from 0630 to 1830. Thank you.
All right, next we'll hear from medical.
Good morning, Matt Conroy, Med Unit Leader Trainee. We have 3 scenarios to review. The first is line emergencies. If you turn to page 28 in your IAP, in box 6, you'll see the procedures to review with your crew. For any in-camp emergencies, please call the communications unit directly using the phone number in the upper right corner. And for any minor medical treatment or supplies needed, please see CalMat in room 32. Thank you. Be safe.
Logistics.
Good morning, Jacob Garrett, Logistics. On page 29 of your IIP is the services schedule for your camp needs. Page 30 is the CAL FIRE 101. For any items left on the line or that are damaged, you need to fill that out with the division signature in order to get it replaced. Page 65 is your base camp map. Also, remember lunches are 24-hour lunches, 1 per person. We put a 30-yard dumpster at the Shaver Lake Volunteer Fire Station for you guys to backhaul your trash and you have somewhere to dump it. Please slow down around camp, continue to wear your mask, and have a good day.
All right, thank you. Now we'll hear from information.
Good morning, Emily Smith, Public Information. If you'd like to join me on page 31, the Public Information section, I have some numbers for you to write down. Our current acreage on the creek incident is 220,025 acres at 18% containment with 2,878 personnel assigned. There's phone numbers on the top if you run into media or the public that have questions. Please refer them to those numbers. And we ask to have you adhere to the CAL FIRE and federal social media policies. We appreciate those that have come by the PIO shop to have items vetted before posting. So continue to do that. We really appreciate it. Also, Lost and Found is in room 13 here on base, and our mailing address changed as of yesterday. So please look at the bottom if you need to have something mailed here. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. Quick reminder, if you are a trainee on this incident, please check in with training. They're located in the front of camp near check-in. Now we'll hear from our COVID advisor.
Morning, folks. Jake LeBaire, COVID advisor assigned to the zone. Just want to point out something that I was thinking about in terms of social distancing. Everybody's gotten very good about maintaining their masks, but I want to talk a little bit about social distancing in terms of how basically you've been doing this your entire life. Most of us had heard from our parents, stranger danger. If you don't know somebody, don't go near them. Same thing applies to camp. If you don't know them, well, maintain some distance. And how do we measure distance? Well, we're going to be coming up on Halloween shortly, and everybody can picture that little kid that's jacked up pretty hard on Halloween candy right now, right? Okay? Now, picture that kid either pretending to be a plane or spinning like a top. If that kid can fit between you and another person, you're socially distanced. Be safe, keep maintaining your hygiene, and if you are becoming a little ill, speak with your supervisor. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from Resource Advisor.
Good morning, everyone. Josh Recorder, lead read here for the incident. Just to let you know that there are some updates to the resource concerns on page 40 of your IAP. So not only are some of them will be a review for you, but there are some additional ones to consider while you're out there, so please pay attention to that. And lastly, one thing among many things that you guys are doing so well out here, especially for the community and public, that you may not have known is we have a special group of sugar pines that are the blister rust resistant, and it's the last of them that sit right in between the Division Victor and uniform break. And so it's been fully flagged off, and we already have dozer line around it, but that little population there, probably half an acre, is going to repopulate the entire state with the sugar pines. So not only is that obviously a very important thing that you guys are protecting out there, but also potential for future logging operations and jobs. So have a good day.
All right, thank you. Next will be our agency administrator.
Good morning, I'm Kim Serini Wilson, Agency Administrator Trainee. First off, I want to have a little audience participation. I've been thinking the last couple days, and I was thinking about the book, The Little Engine That Could. How many people have either had that book read to them, you've read it to your children or your grandchildren? Yeah. Yep. So as I see the incremental changes of containment, I was thinking about that book because I love reading. And in that book, it talks about the little engine that's going along the track, and they see all the different critters and animals and such. And so to me, that's what you guys are doing. I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, and you have it up to 18%, which is awesome. And now I thought I could, I thought I could, I thought I could. So I just want to encourage you guys to keep up the great work that you're doing and have a safe shift. Thanks.
Thank you. And finally, our incident commander.
Hey, good morning. George Huang, one of the Unified Deputy Incident Commanders for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 1. I want to take a moment. Texas firefighters, where you guys at? There you go. Being one of the priorities in the state for this last week, we needed all the help we can get. And Texas Fire Department, thank you. We appreciate all your effort and continued effort to put this monster to bed. And with that takes me to my next advice and my next comments. You know, just like I explained to them when they first got here, it was one team, one fight. Everything that I'm going to preach exactly from the Forest Service onto CAL FIRE and every other agency. It doesn't matter, LA County, Orange County, SAC Metro, CAL FIRE. It does not matter. We're out here as one team, one fire department, and we are going to continue to represent Fresno County, Sierra National Forest, and every single citizen of the mountain community. So go out there, have a safe shift. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just a few quick announcements. There'll be a cooperators meeting today at 10 a.m. in this location. Planning meeting this afternoon at 1700 in the presentation building. An ops briefing tomorrow morning here, same location at 0700 for our breakouts. Starting over here, branch 2025, you have N&P, RS, and U around the horn. One change is that Victor and Whiskey have been split up, so Victor's right back here, Whiskey's over there where it was yesterday. XZ and Contingency on this side. Unassigned resources to the back at the table. Have a great day. Turn your phones back on.